Welcome back after a fantastic, explosive, incredible game one that was put on by ASG versus OBS. ASG taking it, but now we find ourselves here in game two. Game two is what I've been excited for. Fat Pikachu versus Art of War, the criminal minds of why is there so much yellow on my screen, but also really big titans here in the Heroic League who are looking to take their victories into the finals. This is just the start of the season, but boy, do I expect to see these two at least in quarterfinals, if I don't see him in semis, you know, like.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a good one. I feel like. I mean, I've seen a lot coming out of few of these players here. Raptor has been just tearing it up, just like in his name. But also Riri and Crims, I remember used to also just steamroll me anytime I played with them. But there's a lot of good teamwork that I've seen coming out of both these teams here. I'm very excited.
That's true. I want to take one moment to talk about one player in particular on Art of War, and that is Prolupo. Prolupo is joining Art of War for the first time. He's found himself in FFS since Season 2. He took a small break, I think, last year, but was on HBK, played in the Mythic League, played in the Heroic League, kind of back and forth, H-Block. Just an all-around fantastic mid laner. Has found his way through several roles as well. It's just been a real power player, so I'm excited to see how he debuts here in the season on Art of War. Yesterday we had him mid playing, so Pro is stepping in for his first match with Art of War officially here on stream. So excited to see how he picks it up. I was gonna say these bands look real familiar, but
I was about to say.
Some draft issues. We're gonna see if we can't fix it. If not, that's okay. I'll tell you what happens here shortly in the broadcast. So let me know if that's the way we need to route it out. But that's okay. Let's keep talking about some players here. Like you said, Raptor stepping on the scene also for Fat Pikachu. They played with him in the Road to Heroic here back in February. I think we played it in March. I don't quite remember. But also was a huge addition. They went all the way to semifinals. Not so great last season in the Mythic, however, finding a lot of footing here in Heroic. So Raptor has been a big part of that, and also just like the step down. And Jakunk, I love saying that name. I can't wait for hopefully he gets another burst champion so I can say he got Jakunked. Civlock started that. I'm excited to keep that going.
Yeah, that's like you're saying. Raptor is new to the team, but not new to the scene. You know, it's definitely gonna be a battle of supports in the bot lane. I really hope to see a lot of spicy plays down there, but I haven't been keeping up as much as I should have. Jakunk is definitely a fun name to say. I'm really hoping to see a lot of spicy plays in the mid lane here too against Prolupo. Definitely some heavy hitters on this team for sure.
So excited. Okay, we've got draft coming back to us. We are going to speed it up just a little bit because I would bet money that Fat Pikachu was hovering that stupid cannon again, but that's okay. That means we have more time to talk about this game in hypotheticals. So I like this. A lot of pressure coming off the top lane. We got the Malachi, we got the Pantheon, we got the Gnar, we got Emilio. Forget about that champion. Ezreal kind of being hovered. We don't actually. Music Boy did play a lot of Ezreal last season. So that will be something that makes sense to me. Kind of wanting to make sure that he's not going to have an easy lane if Raptor and Blackpink Trash want to get in there and do some damage.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like you want to take away a lot of things that are just real easy to get back there and take out some squishies. But Ornn's not a bad pick here. There's definitely a lot of survivability up there. You can do a lot of things with them. even if he falls behind, you can always, you know, you just universally useful, even in late game. Even if you just go 0-20, you still got that ulti to help pick it up for your team.
That's true. And Storm Blessing, no stranger to it, definitely has played more than their fair share of Orin. So back on tank duty, you know, someone's got to do it. Soldier
That's
on
right.
07, you know, that's okay. Pro Lupul picking up LeBlanc. I kind of like that. You've definitely seen him perform on that. Definitely in his wheelhouse, using something also like Ari, something in there. So he likes to play those dashes, those get in, those get outs, find your target kind of champions. Likes to pilot it in that way. So liking that. Definitely probably gonna expect maybe a jungle pick. No, just kidding. I wouldn't know anything anyway. So Shed coming out is also gonna be a lot of quick map movement. LeBlanc's gonna find their way down. Shed's gonna be able to teleport. I don't know. Our draft. Oh, it's coming back. It's here. It's there. It's okay. We'll figure it out. We are gonna get through this together, family.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad pick into Orin. I feel like, you know, just you got a lot of global pressure with Shen, and you can definitely defend against a lot of those brittles that Orin's going to throw out with your W. But you know, if you use it nilly willy and don't actually take care of it, then you're going to find yourself in between a rock and a hard spot, right underneath your own tower.
I see what you did there. Anyway, so yeah, looking at Vex, I'm not really sure how this champion works. It either does nothing or it flies by and pentakill, so that's pretty cool. Speaking of the champion that flies by and either does nothing or pentakills, Kazik would fit that theme. So, Kenny, I'm not quite sure what the play is here, but definitely some damage coming through. A lot of, you know, pick potential coming through from those two as well. So, liking the control so far.
I do, going back to the Vex, I do like the Vex pickup from Jakunk there, because that is a hard counter to LeBlanc, because you can't really jump in and do a lot without getting feared and getting a little bit of burst back to her at the same time. So that's definitely a good pickup by Jakunk there.
Yeah, that's something punishing. We like to see that. We like to think these in-depth drafts, especially coming through from our coaches on both sides, of course. We were iterating this plenty of times for Sword Blue coming through for the side of Art of War. Fantastic player, knows a lot, knows his stuff. Got his clipboard. I'm sure he'd have a fancy headset if we were a live studio. On the other side, Sundubu. I've heard mixed things. I heard he helps sometimes, but also sometimes he likes to have his name on screen. So I don't fault him for that either. So, but lovely guy. He does a lot of stuff for us. He messages Chris a lot about things. So appreciate him being where he is. Last draft coming through, targeting Raptor, making sure nothing too comfy, no support. So also kind of same thing. No Zaya, no Rel, it looks like. So I'm not sure what these bot lanes are thinking, but we might see some action.
I'm actually really liking the flex here for the Shen and the Poppy, because if I see a River Shen, I'm going to get really excited. That is a vicious thing to snowball with if you can get that going. But I don't think the Poppy would be too bad into an Orin either. I mean, as soon as Orin presses R, you can kind of just push him out as soon as his R comes in, and not really useful anymore.
A fair point. You're picking up Braum. Just find out one thing about Oriri, it's he's strong like Braum, got the big mustache. That's how I would describe him. Holding the door. So definitely going to kind of see how it plays out. We can definitely see something like, I don't think Caitlyn's super strong, but maybe Ashe is still on the table. That's an option for both teams. Could fit really well for Art of War picking up things. Blackpink is going to opt into Kog'Maw. I kind of like that. Not too many enchanters are left here on the board. So let's see. What would we want to be here? No Lux, no Lulu, no Janna, no Rel. Raptor can play for the Zillion would be good. We could like that. We could appreciate that. Gives a lot of sustainability from the long burst coming in from the back line.
Yep.
They're going to commit that. I like it. Good pick, Raptor. Good pick.
There's a lot of survivability. It's going to come in just one last pick there. I mean, everybody knows how the Kog'Maw game goes. Either you're alive to do a little bit of damage, or you're just going to run at him and blow up. You know, it's a little bit rough sometimes, but other times you can just dish out 5 kills in about 10 seconds.
We got the Jinx coming through from Music Boy, rounding out these comps. I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing. I think a little more traditional on the side of Art of War. Fat Pikachu's got some more interpretation. Kind of excited to see how it meshes together in these team fights. A lot of potential on both sides. I think I'm gonna give my edge to Fat Pikachu just because Raptor voted for me for so long, so I gotta put my faith back in him. What do you think, Beards?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be leaning a little bit over towards the Art of War. I think that their team composition is actually, it's got a little bit of defense, a little bit of offense. It's pretty well rounded. I think they can pull it off.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. You know, like I said, game one was fantastic, explosive, spicy. Let's see how game two, this is the game I've been looking forward to, seeing these two Titans clash here on the Rift as they start to move down to make that a reality. So don't forget, we have predictions going over in the chat before First Blood. Get your points in, get those bets up. Otherwise, you're going to regret it. Sound coming through. All right, so 5-man invade coming through on the bot. Together, Raptor might find himself in a situation. No, he saw the ward, but he still finds it. Immediately taunted him, stunned, and First Blood going over to Pro Lupul. That's rough. That's not something you want to see for LeBlanc, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely not gonna help Fat Pikachu here, but we'll see if they can kind of come back from that early start there. A little bit of gold on the LeBlanc is gonna be a little bit more poke damage, which is fine, you know. We'll roll with it, run with it, see where it goes.
Yeah, we're gonna have to use our eyes here. We're gonna use our ojos. Let's take a look at that inventory for LeBlanc. Double longsword. I think we know what that means. What does that mean?
The 50% AP scaling ratio.
That's
Feels
right.
good, man.
Back to the static shiv move. It was so impressive yesterday. Had some strong results, so can't blame you for it. But man, do I hate this man.
Yes, listen, it's a balancing thing with Riot Games, all right? We need to make sure everybody has a fun time.
Small indie company, if you will. All right. Nothing too crazy I expect here in the early game, especially in the top lane. They should just be hanging out, but I've been wrong before. Storm Blessing does kind of like some blood early on. But let's talk about what's going to happen. What is the ideal? You picked Art of War, so what is Art of War's ideal early game? What are they looking to do here?
I think this is going to be a lot of roaming. I think it's going to be a lot of pressure for the bot lane and the mid lane here. The LeBlanc's obviously, you're going to try to push in that Vex there. Vex is just going to survive a little bit early on. Basically, its top lane is just survive till you hit 6 and then start trying to make plays around the map here. I mean, Orin's going to have to do a lot with just having a TP, but you got the Shen who can be anywhere 2 times every single time. But you know, I think as long as we get a little bit of pressure from Poppy in the top lane here, I think Shen can do a lot of work.
Yeah, I could see that. I think on the flip side, I think Fat Pikachu, nothing they really want to force early on. Maybe, if anything, the Jakunk can go ahead and use his Vex to maybe do something. But I think a lot of this pressure from the bot lane of Art of War is going to be hammering down on Fat Pikachu's bot lane. Raptor and Blackpink Trash want to scale up. I don't think Music Boy wants to let that happen. So I think if aggression is going to be leveraged, it's going to be in that lane, and that's what I expect most of the early action 15 minutes or so to be.
Yeah, I could be seeing a lane gank here from the Poppy, which might not be bad as soon as this Orin pushes it out. He might freeze in front of his tower, though. He does have a lot of HP at all times during the game.
Hey, big boy could also use his own pillar against him. That'd be interesting to see if it comes up and stuns himself. So
that would. Oh.
Yeah, nothing yet. It does proc electrocute, so some good damage coming through. A lot of pressure in these lanes. Crims doesn't want to waste any more time. It says this might be staying here for a bit. Gonna continue his way down the river. Q, Vanessa, Carlton.
Well, you always bring snacks if you're gonna go in for a gank that you don't know if it's actually ready or not. You know, just kind of sit back and munch down a few things, you know, talk to your team. You know, give a little bit of morale support while you're waiting for the perfect gig.
It's true. You know, while we've got a little bit of time, like I said, we're going to not expect to see too much early on. You know, you can always look forward to some great content. If you didn't already see our opening video, you can do so on our YouTube channel, FOF. YouTube, and then we've also, got some great content coming soon. Connect first issue is not out yet, but as I'm talking, Crim's coming through from the side lane. Jakku taking some damage, forces the flash, not quite able to find the stun, and it is going to be safe for now. Forcing that early pressure is good. These two are going to slap each other around, but like a wet noodle fight, I'm not too worried.
Yeah, the Poppy was getting in there just to put a ward down on that Grump, which is going to give a lot of information here for being able to move towards the bot lane when and they clear back towards blue. But you see Kazakh's here in just a second, and we'll see what Poppy does with that information.
You know, that is true, especially the last game, that those early wards did, you know, set up the pressure for the gank in his own jungle. So, you know, when teams put this kind of pressure, put these kind of plays in their head and start to execute, that's what we like to see. That's where the excitement comes in here for the heroic teams. Teleport is going to be used, and we also see Kazakhs waiting in the wings. I see what I did there. So we'll see if anything becomes of this. Probably not. Shen going back.
Oh man, the dad jokes are gonna come in heavy today. Father's Day is over.
True, but you can always put your Crocs in sports mode, and basically the same thing.
That's true. As long as you got your socks on while you're wearing your Crocs, there's really no losing there.
That's right. One illegal thing after the list today. Okay. I'm liking that. A lot of damage coming through back on Pro Loop. Uses the W and is immediately punished through on the side of Jakunk. Shen gonna go ahead, take some farm. Jakunk really the only outstanding, or actually Jakunk and Blackpink tracks holding up pretty solid CS leads. Over 10 on both their laners.
We do have
rotating for Dragon.
Do you have level 6 on both top laners, so we could see a fight coming in here pretty quick.
True. Engage kind of misses. Raptor, no mana, taking a lot of damage, is going to probably find himself back to a gray screen. Barely alive. Pro Lupul is going to be picked up by Kazakhs. 1 damage down, trading back and forth. Music Boy and Ariri here, and they're both pretty healthy. It's going to force the flash. Jakunk going down. Ariri finds himself picking up a kill, and another traded back to Music Boy. That's 4. Sorry, don't mean to misspeak. 4. Trade for Fat Pikachu, and they've picked themselves up their very own Pretty Dragon.
That was not a bad play coming out of the red side there. There's definitely a lot of ultis being thrown out, and they came out with the better end of that one.
Yeah, Music Boy able to get there at the end and really just kind of get the reset, get excited, and you know, put a lot of gold in this pocket. He also started Cole, so it's really going to be starting paying dividends. He's going to be rolling in the bands here in a moment.
I do like the rotate coming out of LeBlanc here, moving up towards the top side to catch all that farm instead of just letting Orin get those free plates up there, and Jen can kind of just cover the mid, and it's a clean trade there.
Crim's coming in on the backside. Resources used from Jakunk. Pushed forward. Not too many escape. Doesn't have flash. Gonna be taking damage from today's and Crims. Kazakh's trying to get here, but it's gonna be too late. Crims picks up a kill of his own on Jakunk, widening the gold gap.
It's just across the board. It's, you know, red side's doing a lot of work here early on. I'm very curious to see if Fat Pikachu is going to be able to bring it back, because I mean they got the tools for late game too. You know, they got a lot of stuff that they can use just start a big fight. As long as they find all 5 of them there, you start a big fight and just steamroll them if they play it right.
That's true. Who doesn't love a big party in mid lane? So again, nothing too much in the lanes individually themselves. When I said the excitement would come from bot lane, the pressure is in favor of Art of War. They were able to leverage that with that big dragon play, so maybe Fat Pikachu would have delayed that, let that one go, get some of that gold in their pocket, because they were doing really well. They, like I said, right before that, both their Kog'Maw and Vex were up in CS. We're doing pretty good, so I think maybe letting the first dragon go would have been a better move on that one.
I think we once we see the static shiv coming out of LeBlanc here, we might see a little bit more roaming coming out of her, but as of right now, it's kind of just a who's gonna farm first type deal.
That's true. And every time I hear that sentence, I think I die a little more inside.
That's fair. You're not alone there. I feel the same way.
Train gonna be hanging out in the bottom lane here, swept it up. Some damage trade back and forth, but I think these guys are just hugging it out. Maybe play like a Teletubby song here. I'm not sure.
It's kind of a 12 rounds boxing match for the top lane in this lane. You know, it's kind of duke it out, walk back, take a breather.
Oh, going deep, but is immediately flashed and taking damage. Jakunk is going to go ahead and Jakunk Pro Lupul. Signature move right there.
Yeah, you love to see that coming out of Vex there. Just landing the ulti and knowing that there's absolutely nowhere LeBlanc can run, is because she's already used her dashes. So it's just kind of good at telling to hold it.
Through, Storm Blessy is going to get the knock up. Still pretty healthy. The smite does come through. I'm not quite sure who got it, but the Taunt is coming through. Spectator, please move your mouse. Knock up on the side of red team. Double is going to be taken. Crim's taken very low. Is going to be picked up by Jakung. Shen is still alive. Damage traded forth in the bot lane. Ult does come through for Raptor. Kenny Train's not get too good. Point blank Music Boy Ultimate's going to go ahead and pick up Raptor and put some more gold back in their pocket.
I think the most important thing about that fight there is that we all know that every stealth ward is 90 seconds. So I learned something new today, though. I don't know about anybody else. I thought it was 89.
Yes, back in the action. Taunt comes through. Knockup's going to find its way. Kenny Train moving here on the side. Today who's trying to stay alive, but it's not going to be enough. It's just going the wrong way, bud. And picked up another kill back in the pocket of Kenny Train. 2-1, looking pretty healthy.
That's a rough one. That's, you know, thinking that you got the upper hand against your laner, and then all of a sudden some jerk just comes in from the river and says no.
Spoken like a real top laner refuses to. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm not crying. You are.
It's okay. Music Boy making his way here. 3 members here in the middle. Chakung has been pushing up, and without Flash, you're gonna find yourself in a world of hurt. Stun comes through, gonna be forced to step on the traps. Raptor is here too late, and that's it. That's what she wrote there. A lot of pressure coming through in the mid lane. Gonna go and pick up more plates, and Rift Herald is gonna be the next thing on the menu for Art of War.
Everybody loves a party in the mid lane.
Right. Taken very low. 1 plate remaining on that tower. Lots of pressure coming through. Prolupal in the bot lane is gonna go ahead and find himself some farm. Be happy to do so. Pick up some plates of his own. That's good.
He's definitely gonna be coming back with a big power spike next time he goes back to base here, which, you know, the dreaded 50% AP ratio is gonna be coming in clutch here pretty soon.
We find ourselves in a 4-7 game state. Only 1k up in favor of Art of War. Dragon coming up here in 5 seconds. Let me tell you, like we said, first round it was probably the move to give up the dragon, but this time, should Fat Pikachu be looking to box?
I mean, he got a lot of responses. The Oran's got TP, he's got ulti up, he's ready to go. Vex has ulti up. Vex is easily able to respond since he's pushing out the bot lane here. I mean, we got a lot of things that can go right or go horribly wrong here. We'll see how it plays out.
True. A lot of gold coming through. Looks like Music Boy picking up half a K on his lane opponent. Pretty even in the mid. Top. Stormblast is rolling in the dough compared to the counterpart. A lot of damage coming through. We're gonna find ourselves caught up. Kenny Train is gonna go down, and pretty sure that means Art of War get a free dragon for their trouble on that one.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way. You know, it's a little bit hard to outsmite a smite when your rescue team doesn't have one, but yeah, it kind of happens that way sometimes, I guess. Sometimes you get caught out, sometimes you don't.
Hanging out here on this side is going to go ahead, push the button. Not quite able to find it. Poppy picks it up. Krim is finding himself a nice dragon. Looks like members of Art of War rotating to mid. Jinx and Oriri. Braum. Apparently I'm just choosing one name at a time to, you know, number 1, B, and color red. Really confusing the audience. Great, my job. All right.
Gotta keep everybody on their toes.
Yep.
I just gotta keep everybody on their toes. That's all you gotta do. You know, I appreciate the pop quizzes that you throw out every once in a while. It really confuses me, like all the time. I don't know where I am anymore. Now, I think on the side of Fat Pikachu, they gotta play a little more aggressive here, but I don't quite know how they're gonna do that, seeing as the roams aren't quite coming in. This is a lot of pushing in the lanes on the side lanes here, but there's not a lot being pushed in. So it's if we get the Ornn unlocked here, then we could definitely see a lot more coming out of Fat Pikachu.
That is true. I think we can say that if Fat Pikachu can get to that later part of the game, they're gonna do pretty good. But definitely Art of War look like they have got control in deciding that factor. Art of War, real practice. A lot of these members have played together a good amount. So if they can tighten it up, make sure they can close the game out quickly, I think they're sitting pretty.
Yeah, I do like how Art of War is slowly pushing the vision line forward there. It seems pretty even right across the board. In fact, Pikachu has a fantastic vision line going from top to mid there as well. They're gonna be able to possibly get a little bit of picks here if anybody makes a mistake going into the top side there.
LeBlanc has picked up the static shift, so is going to be able to start putting a lot more pressure, forcing Fat Pikachu maybe into some uncomfortable situations. But if they play it correctly, keep his vision up like you're talking about, and if they can get the pick, they might be actually just able to do something with it.
Yep. Just, snowball a little harder or watch it crumble to pieces. It's kind of how this goes. Loople down.
Oh. Taunt is going to come through. Already brought the charge through. Is going to be able to find his way back to tower. Krim is more than happy to just kind of skip in the river. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Nothing too risky done yet.
It's just a brutal boxing match up there. It's a lot of commotion being cast up the river and down the river. This looks like a 3-man roam back up and top. And then back to mid.
Coming in, contested for this Rift Herald. Fat Pikachu's trying to find it. Art of War are the ones currently on it. Trading back and forth. Looks like Storm Blessy is ready to commit. Throws the ultimate into the top side. Proluple's really low. Gonna go ahead and chase him down. Commits the flash. Not able to quite find it. Traded back and forth. Not quite sure what happened with Rift Herald here, but a lot of members coming through. Ori finds a good ultimate. Storm Blessing on the backside. Jakuk on the teleport coming through. Kenny Train is here, but might find himself overextended. Picks up a lot of damage, gets rooted up by the Braum, finds himself way past his teammates. Is able to get back thanks to Raptor's ultimate resetting things. The members of Art of War find themselves scrambling. And Jakuk waiting here in the winds. Not going to commit with the ultimate. I think that's a good play. It looks like Art of War picked up the
Krim secured that Rift Herald, which is definitely good because it's still stopping that Ornn from being unlocked in the top lane, which he might take the top tower now, but we'll see how they want to play this one out because they might start pressuring down mid, which Ornn still has TP, so he can respond to that as well, but does not have ulti, so they might get at tier 1, possibly a tier 2 off this, depending on how they play it for Art of War.
So they do trade top for bot tower. Proluple also did have teleport, but decided to keep that pressure up. Puts themselves in a good spot with the gold. Again, 4-8. Gold lead pretty minimal, just a little over a K in favor of Art of War. Gonna go ahead and start moving into the river in the lower part of the jungle. Trying to find some vision control. Dragon on the table in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, these fights are, they're kind of a coin toss when they first start, but it definitely can flip very, very quickly. If you get that Vex in the backline, then everything disappears. But also at the same time, whenever Shen's ulti is up, he's able to save anybody from Vex's terror going into behind the scenes there.
That's true. And Raptor definitely giving Kenny Train a lot of space to play with an ultimate. Could have been disaster if it was anybody else. Gotta go ahead and he's trying to force his way into lane here, forces the jump. Rift Herald is going to come through, forcing the teleport quite early. Ornn is here. Members are going back. Tadeusz on the teleport on the other side. Well, I lied, it was Proluple. Gonna go ahead and dash forward, not able to find too much, just want to overcommit. And Art of War pick up a tower. Looks like they're going to go ahead and try and rotate here in the bottom side. Dragon is on the table, on the menu, trying to figure out what that play looks like here in a moment. Storm Blessy kind of leading the charge, however, they could find themselves in a very uncomfortable position being pinched. Taking the tower, Crimson is going to go ahead and push it up, start the engage, find themselves here in the choke point. Today is not able to quite find the taunt. Members are dancing back and forth here at this pivotal point. Dragon looks like it is going to be focused now. It's going to be up to Kenny Train to see if he's going to try and do something to steal. Storm Blessy coming through with the ultimate. It is stopped by the Braum ultimate. Finds himself, and actually Kenny Train gets the smite steal. Damage being traded back over the lines. Raptor ultimate used here on Kenny Train, trying to run away. Big damage coming through. Feared. Jinx ultimate not able to quite connect on anything. Teleport coming through from Shen's Stand United. Members are running their way back to base. Blackpink Trash might have found the wrong way. Proluple putting damage, forces the flash, and jumps back to base. Exciting, nobody died.
That was a very, very, very good steal by Kenny there. That's definitely what you wanted to see after the Ornn ulti got blocked by the Braum there, which was an amazing block by Oriri. But Yeah, they created a lot of pressure walking up to the dragon for Fat Pikachu. Then they kind of pulled off of it, kind of weighed their options, and I think they relied a little too heavily on the Ornn ulti there without anything else being used, which it's not really too bad of a thing most of the time, but that Braum standing in the back there is just ready for it. But
Yeah.
the steal was spicy.
I think if you're Fat Pikachu, this is about as good as it could have went. You get the dragon, put yourself back in the game, delay that Elder, that Dragon Soul. That's what you want to do. Again, that's one of the key points that we talked about for extending this game and letting Black Trash get to the point that he wants to be able to do that damage. Kenny Train and Raptor again, really liking that this duo between their Kha'Zix and there's really being able to find the time and the space, really make sure Kenny's not dying in awkward spots and enables him to really utilize the ultimate in such a good way with Kha'Zix. So
Absolutely.
brava.
Yeah, that's I think we're gonna see some vision lines being pushed up from the red side here for this Baron, and I'm really excited to see if we can give Music Boy a pick here and just get him excited and just run down the rest of the team, because I think with all the defense that they have for him, you could do a lot of damage. Plus the picks coming in from Pro Lupul, just sneak right in there, push a wave, kind of create a lot of pressure on the bot side here and make them force off of Baron. But there's also no TP for Pro Lupul, so if all five decided to go up to Baron from Fat Pikachu, then it might be a little bit of a problem.
That does put a very interesting dynamic. You can't really do the Kha'Zix jump on the Jinx because they've got so many tools between the Shen and the Poppy to make sure that doesn't happen. So try to just kind of force them into that front to back. And if there is one champion that is pretty good at front to back, that is Kog'Maw. Also got some very good tools of his own. A lot of resources being committed to Pro Lupul, is going to find his way back to safety. Created up here on the top side, and with that commit to bottom, we are going to see Art of War trying to commit to this Baron. Putting some damage out, and as soon as I say that, they said, just kidding. We're just trying to bait this Ornn. But Pro Lupul finds himself overextended. Four members of Fat Pikachu find their way. Flash is committed from Raptor, finds a little jump back, and Black Pink gets to pick up a lot of money for himself there. That's good. Let's go, Fat Pikachu. Raptor, get him.
There's a lot of pressure that's now relieved from being the old Blanc split pushing with that definitely not broken item Static Shiv in the bot lane and being able to rotate everywhere else. And it's always annoying. It's like a Shaco. You try to chase a LeBlanc, you're never gonna catch her, but you draw the whole team together, you corner her, and then she's just gone. But we'll see if they create any more pressure on the map here, since it's still a 5v4.
Going around the side, putting some damage, not able to quite find the engage. I thought that was it. But I think you're right, with the power of God, anime, and friendship, I think you can overcome LeBlanc or Static Shiv. Yeah.
That's true. That's very true. I couldn't have said it better myself. Looks like they're going to be switching from top to bottom here and creating a little more prop. I don't know how Ornn deals with this. Kind of just get poked all the time.
True. Stopping the back probably does mean they have to hang out a little bit longer than he would like. Back's already moving in to match the Shen. Dragon on the table back in 50 seconds. So a lot of pressure coming through. Will be the vision game here. Just a little bit. Jakun trading some damage, but Shen's a big boy. He's been eating his vegetables, so.
He definitely did not skip leg day. He's just trucking around with those big old logs underneath his waist there.
That's true. We find today you just kind of go in and out, knowing that there's so many members of Fat Pikachu here. Gonna go ahead and clear some vision on the side of Raptor. Again, like we said, a vision game coming through. Dragon in 20 seconds. Jakun trying to send the wave back, and on the flip side, Music Boy sends the wave back mid. Pressure coming through from Pro Lupul. Does still have a teleport if they would like to commit to this play.
I do like the macro pressure coming out of these split pushes here. This is very, very big, because the longer they wait for trying to make a play on anything, just like this.
Yeah. Kind of force them what to do. Members are rotating up. They're coming through mid now. On the bottom side of the Dragon, Crimson able to find anybody with that ultimate. Charge back to meet the members of his team. Ornn ultimate coming through. Finds the knockup this time. Kenny on the wings. We're going to pick up one member down. Aruri's very low. Kenny flying through. Pro Lupul is taken down by Jakun. Triple kill on the way of Jakun. Looks like Fat Pikachu just not able to quite find the next one. Pro Lupul waiting over here, trying to get away. Flash is committed, and Raptor picks up fourth one. And Fat Pikachu's in this. Look at it. Look at him.
No.
Look at him go.
That was a huge pickup by Fat Pikachu. They did an excellent job making sure that the Braum used the shield that time, and then kind of pushed him off to the side a little bit and ulted the rest of the team there. Got a knock up and just played right off that. It was excellent communication on target acquisition there, making sure that they picked the right ones and just kind of run them down one at a time there.
You know, I think you're right. When you look at the way these team fights are shaping up, a lot of times a lot of people will be aggressive. They'll go in, they'll try and do as much damage as they can. And this time, Fat Pikachu, they're getting together. They're not starting the fight. They're slowing things down. They're coming together before they make these plays. So with that, a lot of gold putting back in the pockets of Fat Pikachu. Getting to this later point of the game, Black-Pink Trash still looking real good, and Jakunk, you know, picking up kills left and right. Kenny fighting the space. Dragon's going to come through here on the menu. Pro Loop on the backside with a little bit of damage. Ability pop from Raptor. Damage coming through. Crim staying alive. Damage. Pro Loop is pretty much left uncontested, doing a lot of damage. But however, Storm Blessing and Kog'Maw sending it up, and Storm Blessing sent to another life. Jakunk ults into the middle. Stopwatches buys a lot of space. Music Boy taken low. That's 2 members down on the side of Art of War. Charging through ultimate reset for Jakunk. And Storm Blessing finds a triple. Pro Loop on the backside, even though left unattended, was actually able to just not accomplish as much as he wanted to.
Yeah, that front to back fighting there was perfectly played up by Fat Pikachu. And they started getting the resets on Vex, so she could just keep diving the back line over and over and over. You know, a lot of 1 HP targets, they could just walk at them. There really wasn't anything that Art of War could do about that one. They just kind of get out of there as soon as they lost the fight. But unfortunately, that Fat Pikachu's got a lot of things to just chase you down to the ends of the earth.
Yeah, you know, I'm excited. I'm loving it. I'm cheering Raptor on. However, if him and Brendan end up getting to a finals, that means I'm the worst TO, and that's gonna hurt my ego. So I want Raptor to do well, but I want him to not do so well, and that's where I'm stuck at.
That's fair. Yeah, you still want an exciting game. You never want anything to be one-sided. You want to see some great plays coming out of both sides here, which I feel like we have early on, late game, mid game. It's all exciting to me.
2 very good games we've been able to cast today. A lot of action still to be played out. We're coming through. I don't think we're gonna find too much off of this. Music Boy and Oriri are gonna join, but nothing really going on. I think we've got a lull as far as objectives go. A lot of the outer towers, one stands on top, the blue side, but a lot of the inners are what's left. About 3 minutes on any objective on the map. So if Art of War want to take a breather, this is the time to reassess what they want to do.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of open spaces on the map right now. I like the vision from Fat Pikachu here. It's a lot of defensive wards, making sure that, you know, if anybody pushes into their jungle too far, it gets a little too aggressive, they can kind of rotate over pretty quick and get a pick off of it, see what they can do off of it. But you know, we do have another split push coming through the bot lane as well from Shen here. He's going to be trying to look at that tier 2 tower in the bot lane, see if he can make a little bit more pressure off of it since there's no objectives up.
Right. Look in the tier 2 tower, it's singing, "Don't you want me, baby?" And, he does indeed. Black-Pink gonna go ahead and pick up another item. Finding himself with 234 farm. Sitting pretty. No deaths yet. Jakunk also quite a bit of money in their pocket. Almost 11k was what I'm gonna say. That's how that words work. Items are pretty good. You know, Fat Pikachu, I think, are at the late game. I think it's their game to lose now.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think they got a lot of pressure on the map right now, and they can definitely keep defending against whatever they need to defend against. I mean, there's a lot of summoners up right now. There's a lot of ultis up. If anybody makes the wrong move and, you know, they're outnumbered on the team side, then I think it might be a big loss for whoever makes the first mistake here.
Yeah. Also, can't discount those ornaments, as the broadcast was pointing out. So those are going to be real good in this scaling. Already ready to go. Kenny Train making a beeline today. He's out here by himself. We'll see if this is going to be able to come to anything. Members are starting to rotate down. Members of Art of War will be here first, trying not to overstay that. Go ahead and fly their way back. Teleport coming through on the backside here is being matched by both mid laners. Perlupo finds himself taking a bit of damage. Stormblessy here, ready to commit the ult. Oria's walking up trying to catch it, and yeah, members of Art of War are being sent back to tower. Jakun not able to find Assault ultimate, so things are a little iffy. Definitely a lot of pressure. Fat Pikachu's feeling strong, so even though those resources have been committed, I think they can still pull off this as they're sending members back to base 2, so this tower is most likely theirs.
Yeah, I think there's it's a lot of resources used, but not enough commitment on the side of Art of War there. But it was definitely a good push by Fat Pikachu, securing that tier 2 tower from the bot lane.
All right, less than a minute on Baron and Drag. It'll be kind of deciding what they want to do. Be interested to see if Art of War can find a way out of their base, put some pressure, and see if they can contest the objectives. Otherwise, I think next objective is the final nail in the coffin.
It's kind of looking like they're just trying to pressure a little bit of trying to inch somebody in here from Art of War, but neither side is really making any mistakes. They're kind of just feeling it out, throwing stuff out, seeing who's walking up, who's walking back. And I feel like their vision line's pretty good on Fat Pikachu here. They could get a lot of information off this, possibly make a play on somebody.
I can see it. As they start to move over into the dragon, Kenny is already ready here. Members of Art of War split. Members on the top side and coming to jungle. Jakunk is a little far forward, but it isn't too scared yet. Stormblessy here to rotate by that space, and Dragon is picked up for the side of Fat Pikachu.
Yeah, it's kind of just a free dragon there. There's not a lot of resistance there. They're still continuing with the split push here. Got a hungry eyes for that tier 2 tower in the top lane. There's never a bad thing.
And with Dragon off the table, that means Baron is the last objective. Today he's trying to put some pressure. This might be the space that they need. Perlupo being hunted down by Kenny. Not able to quite find the Seekers. Gonna go ahead and go back to lane. Bottom tower is still pretty low. Even though Shen was singing to it, wasn't quite able to pick it up yet. Red buff being transferred over onto Music Boy. Gonna be able to start peppering them with the rockets here in those team fights. We got a 1-3-1 going on. Not quite committed back on the side of Fat Pikachu yet, but we'll see how that shakes up.
I don't know. I don't know about keeping Perlupo in the bot lane here because TP isn't up. I think it'd be a little bit better to put the Shen in the bot lane here since the objective is on the top side and you can respond back to it. But we'll see how they play this one out. Maybe it's a power move. Who knows?
That is true. We do have Raptor moving up here, trying to see what they can do to bully the Deluge. Maybe either send them back or create some pressure that way. Knockup is going to come through, but just a quick dash, shuffle to the right. They'll be safe again.
Yeah, I think if they realize that they can just put pressure on this Baron, there's not much that can happen anywhere else, then I think Fat Pikachu can just walk away with this.
Sure, it'd be nice. A lot of pinks coming through, not too much vision. There is one on the backside there. Jakun again. Perlupo going to be hanging out here, spending their free time. Perlupo, is going to be engaged on huge damage. Immediate explosion forces the Shen ultimate. Comes back to it, is going to dash, misses the taunt. Jakunk's running away, still putting down a lot of damage. This could go really bad for the side of Art of War. Going to go and auto him down, does have the fear taunt up, and sends them both back to base. Remaining members of Fat Pikachu are going to rotate over, pick themselves up a Baron for their trouble.
That was excellent played by Jakunk there. Just pulled a few resources out of him and definitely secured a lot more for the Baron here. I don't really think there's anything that Art of War is going to be able to do about this, unless they can steal it.
That's right. Trying to put some damage here on Stormblessy, but he's a big boy. Members of Art of War are on the backside. Damage is being traded back and forth. Raptor is going to find himself down. Black Pink isn't looking too much better. Kenny Tree is also pretty low. A lot of damage coming through here on the side of Stormblessy. Surviving forever, but is going to be wiped. That's 3 members of Fat Pikachu going down, and momentum shifted back to the side of Art of War.
That was a spicy steal there. Just like I was saying, I don't know if there's going to be much they could do about it unless they steal that, and they got right in there and they did what they needed to do. That was perfectly played by Art of War.
Exhaust coming through, trying to force something on Jakun. Tower is traded up, a lot of pressure coming through, and picks up 1, 2. What happened? They were deleted. There was 3 members of Art of War. Where did they go? What happened to the spaghetti code?
That is disgusting. Jakunk is a
They got
maniac.
jakunked.
They got Jakunked.
Oh man.
Oh my lord.
I don't know if we're doing the MVP votes, but if someone doesn't win it, I think it's rigged. So
Yeah. It's that's fair. That's I did not expect that to happen at all. It's kind of a there's always somebody bigger and better moment when three guys showed up. I feel like it was more like a roadhouse there.
right. Jakun might overstayed their welcome though. Immediately fear popped, a lot of damage traded, and gonna be picked up for his sins. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
That's back and forth now. There's a lot of damage being thrown around. I don't really know where this is gonna go. I mean, it's kind of back and forth. It's just random fights popping up out of nowhere now.
Yeah, I think Fat Pikachu got a little excited. They can still throw the game if they do stuff like that on accident. You know, they are trying to pick up their first official season win for Fat Pikachu. So I'd like them to take a breath, not overextend, and just clean this game up. You got this, boys. Come on.
Yeah, so I don't really know. I was just going back to the beginning of when you asked who you thought was gonna win. I'm not quite sure. It kind of seems 50-50 at this point. Making a lot of good decisions and a lot of bad decisions and a lot of good fights coming out of both sides here. It's really in anyone's hands here. Just kind of depends on how they position you. I think that Pikachu could do a lot more if they start grouping up here and just kind of force something into it. But also, they still have to keep up with the pressure of the split pushing from coming out of the LeBlanc and the Shen at the same time.
That is true. A lot of uncomfortable positions that are being forced on Fat Pikachu is kind of delaying it. Dragging Ishtar by the members of Art of War. Fat Pikachu members are rotating. Kind of slow here. Today is kind of do it. Teleport coming through on the backside. Can he hammer it? Or it jumps in, but it's not able to find it. So that's 3 dragons to 3. Storm Blast, trying to re-engage, gets the knockup. The Vex ultimate is going to come through. Big stun. Not even quite find it, but damage is still raining back. Today he's able to put a shield, but not enough. Blackpink Trash is causing chaos and damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Members of Art of War down.
Oh man. Yeah, that was this might be it actually. It's definitely a lot of pain coming from Fat Pikachu there. And Art of War could not keep up with it. Unfortunately, they did not have the teleport up for the split pusher again.
The back here as the members of R pounding away on the base. Kenny is picking up another kill for himself. That's an ace. No one here to left to defend the Nexus, and that's going to be the first win for Fat Pikachu in the FOF season. Hashtag Jakunked.
That's yeah. There's definitely a lot of Jakunked action happening in the last 10 minutes there. Not really much you could do about all that damage, especially when he just jumps into that backline.
Right, we're gonna transition over to the victory screen here in just a moment. But Beers, I want to ask you this question: as this league is in fact a double round robin. So this is the first time they faced off against each other. They will face each other again in 4 weeks, I think, with the way Super Week still works out. But what do you want to see changed if Art of War want to switch up the victory screen?
I think the game plan that they had early on was going really, really well, but I think a lot of the resource management coming up to the teleports and being able to rotate out. I mean, the macro was fantastic, but I think they could have had a little bit better decision making there. Kind of sending the Shen to the split push instead of the LeBlanc with no teleport. You know, having them just kind of rotate him out a little bit more. Other than that, the pressure was just fantastic. It's just being able to respond to something else on the map was a little bit lacking there, but I think they can pull together just a few minor fixes and they can definitely go a lot further.
I think that's very fair. A lot of good things coming through. Like I said, these are 2 Titans I expect to see go very far in this season. So with that, we're going to have our first ever interview with Fat Pikachu in the regular season. It's going to be Jakunk. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Jeez.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to the interview desk. I'm your friendly neighborhood shotcaster, Shargan, and I have got Jakunk joining me on the caster's desk. Or, sorry, not the caster's desk, the interview desk. Maybe we want to bring you on the caster's desk at some point. What do you think about that?
Sounds fun.
Yeah, sounds fun. Okay, good. Well, you know what? Let's just hop into the actual interview questions that we've got going for you here. So this, I think, is technically Fat Pikachu's second official win of Friend or Foe from a career. So that's gotta be exciting. How do you guys feel coming into this and coming off of that win?
We feel super good. That was a pretty stressful game at first, and we were playing from behind in the early game, and throughout these team fights, we were basically almost yelling at each other the whole time, trying to keep ourselves coordinated.
Yeah. Was there anything in particular, during the draft, y'all were expecting to have to deal with that you knew you needed to take off the board?
So, funny story, one of our guys was like, we need to ban LeBlanc. She's broken right now with this Shiv build. And then we were like, oh, the guy doesn't play LeBlanc, we'll be fine. We don't have to worry about it. And then for the draft, we noticed how their comp was mainly centered around Jinx and LeBlanc, which is only 2 damage dealers and the rest are tanks/peelers. And our coach was like, guys, if you just take out either one of the damage dealers, we'll be fine. And with that mindset, we really tried to pull that off.
Yeah, definitely. You guys were certainly able to do that, pulling it back around that midway point. And so, was there anything about that? Obviously, you were the one who had to deal with that LeBlanc. Was there anything you knew going in, okay, I've got to do this now that is going to be a problem?
Not really. I just played Vex how you would play Vex in solo queue, just look for kills. My coach did say, he's like, you counter LeBlanc, just wait for her W, then UW, which is a innate counter, which felt really good to play with. And essentially, I just had to match LeBlanc. And it was super easy, because her wave clear is great, but she can't actually burst me.
This is true. This is true. You definitely had that going in there. So now that you guys have picked up your second win, you kind of got that momentum going. You've got your future matchups coming up. Is there anything y'all are planning to do to prepare for those, to kind of keep this win streak alive?
We plan on just playing practice matches in Flex, reviewing our VODs, things like a team would usually do. Nothing special.
Nothing special. But obviously you guys seem to have some sort of secret sauce going on right now.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Well, I look forward to seeing more of Fat Pikachu in the future, and I hope to have you on this interview desk a couple more times going forward. So I'm personally really excited for that. Want to say thank you so much, Jakunk, and we look forward to seeing your next games.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for the interview.
Welcome, welcome. All right, folks, stick around. We will be right back. Going to take a short break here. We will be having Pentakill Teemo Please going up against BBZ. Yet again, another classic matchup. Don't go away. We will be right back.